How you doing? Uh, I'm gonna, the testing batteries. We got to test batteries. There's an awful lot of very nice, expensive, professional battery testers out there. Just the VATs and the, you know, Data Techs and the, you know, there's a whole bunch of them. There are some less expensive ones as well. There's a lot of types of batteries out there that have very specific requirements for testing as well. So I'm going to show, and I don't have one of these fancy testers here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what you can do in your own garage, at home, some easy, simple tests that you can do. Now, I've got a couple of batteries sitting on the bench over here. I'm going to run through a couple of things. You'll see. Okay, got three batteries here. They're all about the same type. They're all the same size. Uh, they're in different conditions. So, we're going to look at these really fast. And I'm just going to take a fast voltage reading, an open circuit voltage reading on these guys. Oopsie. I got 12.42. And I've got 12.93. And I've got 12.90. Now, 12.6, these are 12 volt batteries, so 12.6 should be fully charged, and they are virtually fairly well fully charged. But each one has a unique, each one has a slight issue. Here, hang on. All right, so let's take this one first. I'm going to see what this one looks like. And just putting a voltmeter across it doesn't really tell me anything. I have to load the battery in order to test the battery. So I'm going to test it with just a 3 amp light bulb, and I'm just going to, light this up and we're going to see what it looks like. Come on, buddy. And I've got, you can see it's drawing current, it's dropping down 11.7, and it kind of stabilizes there. It doesn't drop really fast. When I put this on here, then it kind of stays there for a while. It's dropping very, very slowly with this load on it. We good? Then we take it off and it bounces back up. And if we leave it sit for a couple minutes, which we will, you'll see that it'll come back up almost to where it was before. So look at this one. And this one's at 12.93. I'm going to jump this guy in here. You can see it's dropping down, and after, a couple of seconds, it should start to stabilize. Where it's going down rather slowly. So this one dropped below 11 volts. This one stopped at 12. We good? Same light bulb. Now we're going to look at this other one. We look at this one. I've got 12.91. See? 12.91. Now I put the light bulb on here and see what happens. Well, the light bulb doesn't light. And look what it did to my meter. It dragged it down. It's now below a volt. It shifted into millivolt territory. So while this one has, and it bounces kind of back up, while this one has good voltage, it doesn't have any amperage. This one's got good voltage, good amperage, and this one's starting to be degraded. So if I had to number these, I'd say this one was in the best shape. This one's in fairly decent shape, although it's showing its age. And this one is junk. How junk? Well, look. Here's a smaller light bulb. See what it does on the smaller one. See, it does light up the light bulb, but it's actually very dim, and you can see it's dragging it down to 6 volts. 7. Get it? So in order to test a battery, we can't just test the open circuit voltage. I mean, this will kind of tell us what's going on, but in order to actually test it, we have to load it, which brings me over to testing the car. Okay, so got this car in. Let's see. There it is. And I'm going to use my meter, and I'm just going to hook up negative and positive and take an open circuit voltage reading of the meter. And my truck is sitting at 12.29 volts, which is undercharged. Now, truck's been sitting for a while due to, being quarantined, so I don't really go anywhere, and the truck's been sitting for days and days, and I haven't driven it. So having it be down slightly, totally understandable. But what I'm more interested in is what kind of shape the battery itself is in. Now, all I'm going to do, now this particular meter has a feature on it, and it's called min-max. So if I push this button, it actually records the minimum and maximum readings that the meter sees. Now, I'm interested in the minimum reading. Now, I'd like to see when I start my car, my truck, or whatever, I don't want to see battery voltage, system voltage, go below about 10 volts, because that can cause you issues. One of the issues it can cause you is computerized cars and computerized systems nowadays. It'll suspend testing if it sees start system voltage, voltage at start too low. Jeeps or Chryslers, Jeeps, Fords do the same thing. If it drops below about 10 volts, you may have issues with, monitor setting and computers testing stuff in the background. More on this in another class. But as you can see, I've got 12.29 volts. It's a pretty simple hookup. And all I got to do now is just start the car. So here. And it's just that fast. It's already done the readings. In order to pull up, all you do is just push this button right here. There's my max system voltage, 14.4. And the alternator kicked in and started charging, which is good. And then 9.36 is the lowest voltage that was recorded by the meter. And this obviously happened during crank. So when I cranked it, system voltage dropped to 9.36 volts. Now, that's not okay. That's weak for some reason. I'd like to see it above 10 volts. 9.36 is not terrible, but, let's say I crank it and it's showing, 8 volts or something, and I'm cranking over slowly. Well, that's telling me that the battery's bad. Now, could also be dirty cables, and I do kind of have a dirty cable here. Clean my wife's, not mine. And I'm going to run you through voltage drop testing on these cables at another time. I'm going to do voltage drop testing on a bunch of the heavy amperage circuits in the car. But it's a pretty simple, easy, fast test. It would take me 2 minutes if I didn't stop to talk your ear off. So battery testing using a meter. Pretty simple, pretty easy, not hard. Thanks. Okay, so I charged my truck overnight, and I have a fully charged battery, 12.6. I actually scrubbed some of the surface charge off it so I can get a good reading on this. And I'm going to run that min-max test again and check the battery. So I'm just going to push my min-max button, and I'll start it recording. And I'll record the highest voltage it sees and the lowest voltage it sees. So now I just got to go start my truck. It's just really that fast. So let's see what I got. My maximum is 14.52. That tells me my alternator is working. Hit it again, and I'm at 10.12 volts. So it didn't drop below 10 volts, which that tells me this is a good battery. It's in great shape. It just needed to be charged. Okay?